Prime Minister, ministers, members of parliament, our distinguished guests. My story will be about 49 years of history of MRDC's journey. In order to appreciate the challenges in the future and the achievements that MRDC has over the last 49 years, I'll go down the history lane where MRDC started. MRDC was established in 1975. From humble beginning, it was initially an exploration company set up to explore mines in the Star Mountains in Western Province. The company's role later changed to managing both mining and petroleum assets, both for state and landowners. In 1996, Origin Minerals was launched. The company was listed in ASX, and 49% of the company was sold through the public through an IPO. It was one of the most successful IPO that was ever done in PNG. In 2002, through a policy decision of the government, Origin Minerals was merged with Oil Sets Limited. The state's 18.1% in Oil Sets was held by MRDC. And in 2007, the 18% shares in Oil Sets was transferred to IPBC. And then finally, Ada Oil Moran was transferred to Petromin Limited. So that was the final exit of all state asset from MRDC in 2007. In 2008, we had one of the largest Lear company, Leonard company, mineral resource Lear. It exited from MRDC. And yeah. And MRDC was left with only the beneficial interest of the landowners and provincial government in mining and petroleum projects, thanks to the implementation of the Oil and Gas Act 1998 that prevented a mass exodus of the remaining landowner entities. This law provides MRDC the mandate to manage landowners, provincial government's participation in both oil and gas projects. The MRDC Authorization Act in 2020 provides clarity on the role of MRDC as a management company in managing its subsidiaries. The legislation, trust deed, and the company constitution provide a very robust governance framework that ensures prudent management of the asset, and that has transformed the organization. This year, MRDC now manages 21 subsidiary companies. Sorry, I can't get through this. MRDC now manages 21 subsidiary companies. These subsidiaries include investments in aviation, hospitality, healthcare, real estate, power generation in PNG, the Pacific, and Australia. It gives me great pleasure to announce that the accounts for all our 21 companies have now been audited up to 2023. This includes all the PNG LNG entities and the Octadia mining entities. The audits were carried out by the Big Four, and their opinions are unqualified, which is a major milestone achievement and a landmark in compliance in PNG. MRDC Group net asset is around 10 billion, and the total asset under management stands at 12 billion, up from 400 million in 2007. To put it into context, this is 30 times more. This is 30 times more, and it is almost 10% of the country's GDP. In the last 5 years, MRDC Group paid 900 million in corporate tax, not income tax, and 376 billion dividends to its beneficiaries. The whole group employs over 2,500 people. This year, just to give you an example, this year, Some of our subsidiaries gain international recognition for their success. In the aviation sector, our investment in PNG has received noteworthy praise in the region. The airline's creditor scheme of arrangement that we entered into was the first of its kind in PNG and allowed its company to restructure its debt and continue to trade during COVID without any state support. These efforts were recognized by the global aviation industry. PNG attended the airline's economic conference award ceremony in Singapore and received the Structuring Airline of the Year award for 2024. The runner-up was Philippines Airline. In the hospitality sector, Hilton PNG is fast becoming itself as the premier hotel hub in Port Moresby. Our commitment to excellence has won recognition against 27 Hilton brands in the Australasian region. Hilton Port Moresby has scored a first in 2 categories, which is in the screen, and second in 2 other categories. This is quite pleasing given that many of the Hilton brands were established and operating ahead of us in the region. This shows that PNG can be a favorable investment climate or destination if you have the right partnership and long-term view of investments. Next year, the country will be celebrating its 50th anniversary as a company, and we have every reason to be proud of our success. Our success is built on MRDC's commitment in trust and governance, stability in leadership, long-term view of investment, and strategic partnership. By adhering to these strong values and principles, we are confident that we will achieve our vision to become a 300 billion kina company within 20 years. But I think that's too modest. We can be 500 billion given the opportunities in this country. It's not impossible to achieve that milestone. However, the strong balance sheet and dividend flow amounts to nothing if the social indicators of our beneficiaries in the project area do not improve. Most of our beneficiaries live in most of the remote parts of the country, and we believe the key to rapid change and improving the social indicators is to ensure they have access to cheap power. This year, our company, DIRIO, applied and received a license from the National Energy Authority to supply, distribute, and sell power to district and communities impacted by the PNG LNG project. Next year, we intend to build solar power hydros to deliver clean, low-cost power to our beneficiaries, and that also includes the mining sector. With this power initiative, MRDC is doing its part in supporting the government's national energy goal of delivering power to 70% of the household in PNG by 2030. The video I'll leave with you is to show what our community infrastructure project is doing in the footprints of PNG LNG.